Hi everyone, I am Denisha Fraser, Master Teacher in Jamaica. I am here to inspire my teachers today. I want to speak to us about what truly makes an effective lesson. So we get up every week and we plan for these students, but are we being effective? Are we following a pattern or a model that will ensure that the lesson does what it is supposed to do? That's what we're going to be looking at today. Let's press into today's segment. There are some things which will never change, whether you are teaching online or face-to-face. A lesson is a lesson, and teachers must do their very best to ensure that we plan those lessons and those learning episodes with our learners in mind. Planning in isolation will make very little sense. Researchers worldwide have been placing far greater emphasis on knowing the learner. It is believed that not knowing learners will equate to some learners not being reached at all. The question is asked, how do you make content relevant to learners you do not know? To know learners is to be aware of their background, interests, and abilities. This means that we can better plan for them, create a safer psychological environment, better enable them to achieve and determine their readiness for the next phase of their journey. I personally have experienced far better results from learners I took an interest in knowing. When we know our learners, then we can teach them. A lesson which will be effective, whether online or face-to-face, must have the following features in order to be successful. The lesson must have a clearly defined topic and 2 or 3 very smart objectives which the students can learn in one sitting. Remember that each student is unique, and if your class is a mixed ability group, you must be certain to plan with each learner in mind. 2. Lesson must be interesting and holds the attention of the learner for its duration. Teachers, remember that our students have varied attention spans. Even as adults, you do not want to sit for more than 30 to 45 minutes doing the same task. Therefore, to keep the learners interested and learning, you must add elements of surprise to the lesson. Remember, you are creating a production with each lesson. 3. The lesson must recognize that a learner might be a visual learner today, though he preferred audio yesterday. Be dynamic. We learned from college about multiple intelligences as we prepared for the classroom. They are a reality. The learners you teach will retain information in different ways. Some will require some music, some images, and yet others might want things to touch or construct. Do your best to cater for every learner. The lesson must break complex matters into simple, learnable parts which can be fit together by the learner. If a matter is too complex and the learner cannot see the part in the whole or the whole from the parts, he will be left confused and uninterested. Therefore, break complex information into smaller, manageable parts, then put them back together again. 5. The learner must be allowed to learn from his peers and his peers to learn from him through deliberate interaction. Even if you're online, you can create tasks that will cause students to collaborate. The best teaching is peer teaching. Therefore, there is no one better to help a struggling student than a student who has come to understanding. Create opportunities for this beautiful exchange. If you are just joining us, you are tuned into a moment with Teach Frey. Today we are reflecting on what makes a lesson effective. We have so far covered 5 points and we are heading into the final points before we close today's segment. Thank you for joining us. The 6th way to ensure that your lesson is effective is the lesson must allow formative assessment. Teachers, sometimes we are tempted to cover the curriculum quickly. I know that the odds are stacked against us in terms of time. However, to have the learner learn quality over quantity is always the formula. It would be futile if you taught everything and the children learned little or nothing. Slow down and check with each learner if they're understanding what you are teaching. Number 7, the lesson must push every single learner to share their opinion, ask and answer questions, and show what he or she knows. Every child has something to share, even that child who is very quiet and reserved. Interrogate his knowledge, and you might be surprised to see the wealth of knowledge he or she possesses. 8. The lesson must make room for each learner to watch the expert do. Do with the expert, then do by him or herself. The teacher is the guide on the side, a guide who can never be absent from the picture. Students need to be taught and supported. Let us ensure that we offer the scaffolding for every learner. 9. The teacher must help each learner to make connections with other subjects, topics, and real life. The most important aspect of what we do as teachers is to ensure that we equip our learners to be functional citizens. Let us teach our students how to connect new knowledge to what they already know. This is the only way they will make sense of all that they are learning. The 10th way to ensure that the lesson is effective. The lesson must have woven within it the things that interest the learners. Every learner has things that they are interested in and which will pique their attention. It is excellent to know these things and to mix them into the lesson appropriately to hold learners' attention as well as to help with knowledge retention. We're going into our final 2 points. Number 11, the lesson must inspire each learner to want to learn more. When a teacher ignites the fire to learn in the learner, that student will be a student of life and for life. And the 12th way to ensure that the lesson is effective is ensuring that the lesson teaches the learner how he learns. This is the whole purpose of teaching people how to learn. Teachers, let us invest in these learners the very best we can. But this will only be possible if we spend time to first know them and to plan proper lessons that will reach them. Keep offering excellent service. The future is depending on you. Until next time, this is Teach Frey. Love and peace.